Boon. Boon. Good boy. Good boy. There's a good boy. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more food call training today. A little recall. And he's had two repetitions. This will be his third if I remember right. So he might start getting it at this point, or he might still not quite understand what the whistle means. We'll see how he reacts today. He definitely knows that I have food, as you can tell. So let's get started. There we go. Now he picked up the pace a little bit when I whistled, so I'm kind of starting to think he might understand it. I'm going to do one more where I call him when he's already coming. See, every time I've called him this morning, he was already on his way. So I wasn't testing at all to see if he knew. I was just calling him when he was already coming. So I'll do one more of that, and then we will try when he's not coming and see if he understands yet. Yeah, I think he understands it. So now let's try, we'll give him the last one, we'll feed him up this time. But I'm going to try and call him when he's not coming and see if we can get a reaction out of him. Or if it was just luck that he came each time. Or timing, I should say, not luck. Because I purposely timed it so he was on his way. So you can't really call it luck at that point. Let's go take him over here. This big plant he absolutely loves to play in. That might get him distracted. There you go. We'll see if he recalls out of this. He loves this big plant. Oh, he's coming before I called him. Go back and play in there for just a second. He might be recalling on my body language rather than the sound. Come on out, go play in that plant for a second. That was hard to say whether he heard me or whether he saw me, but he's getting the idea. Whether it's from the sound yet or not, I can't say for sure. He might be just reading my body language, but either way, he's picking up on the process, so that's good. We'll just let him eat his fill here, and when he's done eating, we'll go put him away. I often get asked what that is I'm feeding. Today we are feeding muskrat. You get all kinds of mix of stuff. So yesterday was brown rat, and today is muskrat. And tomorrow, who knows what we'll feed him? Maybe some pheasant meat. I get pheasants from the pheasant farms when they do. We do pest control for them. They pay us in pheasant meat. They'll give us their injured or ugly or whatever pheasants that basically what they want to get rid of anyway. And we're happy because we get a bunch of meat, and they're happy because they get the rats taken care of. So it's a nice little mutual relationship we have going on. So anyway, he depending on the day, he could be eating duck, he could be eating pheasant, could be eating rabbit. But today it happens to be muskrat, and muskrat's probably the most common thing we feed him. Out of everything, I would say muskrat, and they do eat some chicken too. So it just depends on the day. And that, by giving them variation, helps to ensure they're getting everything they need. Some animals, like for example, rabbits are deficient in, I cannot remember what it's called, tularine or something like that. Anyway, it's this amino acid. But anyway, rabbits, for example, are deficient in certain things, whereas other animals might be overly rich in certain nutrients. By mixing it, we help to make sure they're not overindulged in certain nutrients or underindulged in others. And by giving them variation, especially going back and forth between light colored meat, like for example pheasant or rabbit, and dark colored meat, like not mink, dark colored meat, like for example muskrat or beaver, by varying and going back and forth, it also helps to make sure they're getting all kinds of nutrients that might be rich or poor in the different meats.
He's walking by himself.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
He's so fast.
He's a fast runner, huh?
Beaver's so fast. He's Beaver? Oh yeah. Man.
He's your friend?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold him back over here.
Yeah.
Over here in the shade so he doesn't get hot. And stay right here. Don't let him follow me, okay? Hold him back. So today's the first ever caching training with little Mr. Boon. He's never done this before, so he's not going to have a clue what I'm wanting him to do. So we gave Boon just a moment to kind of orient himself so he knows where the nest box is. He's been sleeping in this every night since he was, I don't know, 5 weeks old. So about the last 2 to 3 weeks, he's been sleeping in this. So he's already familiar with it. He sees it kind of as home. And right now, he's walked around a little bit. He realizes this is the only hiding spot anywhere near him. So let's see if we can get him to take the rat to the box. So we just got a little dead rat on a string here. We'll see if we can get him to take it anywhere. He might not really care. He just wants to play with it. Come on. So I'm going to rub a little meat. Kind of put a piece of meat in its ear and kind of rub it on its head so it smells like meat. There we go. He smells the meat. Now he sees it as something of value. Isn't that funny how he just changed? So I'm going to step back a little bit, let him kind of assess himself. There he goes, good boy.
He's a boy.
Turn around. Maybe I'll reward him from this end. I'm just rewarding from this end. It's not really typical, obviously. We normally reward from that end, but I wanted him to understand pretty quickly that he did the right thing by taking it in the box. The opposite of what I usually do, I opened the box and gave it from the other end. He was pretty set on being right here, and I don't want to do anything to make him uncomfortable while in the box. The box is supposed to be his little safe place, and so if I start harassing him in any way in the box, I'm basically taking away his motivation to bring it here. So since he brought it just to the mouth and wouldn't go any further, I stepped out of the norm and opened up the back and gave him the food through there. The key is that he gets rewarded as soon as possible when he takes it to the box. So eventually, once he gets the idea of the routine of things, he'll just bring it in the box and come out for food like Vila and almost every other mink I've ever had does. But right now he doesn't really get what he's doing. This is his first time ever, so not bad for his first time. I try and avoid get overly excited about the first couple trainings, because sometimes they will do it perfectly for the first training or first week or first 2 weeks, and then they just go south after that. We'll have to see how he goes. I am happy to see that he took it to the box without any hesitation though. So we'll leave him alone to eat in peace. One thing we want to do is make sure he doesn't haul the rat around once he's done. So when he's done eating here, we will try and find a way to coax him out of the box without having him remove the rat. So we'll give him a minute to eat and then we'll do that. Okay, so he's coming out here. Let's see if we can distract him. Maybe I'll offer him a little more meat. I don't want him to start playing with that rat or take it out or anything. Hey, duck. You want some more meat? So we're going to go put him back in his cage now, and then we'll come back while he's gone and take the rat and the meat out of the caching box. We don't want him to see us take it from his box. We want him to think of it as a safe place.